Thanks for tuning in to Red Belt Radio. The following episode is scheduled for one fall. I'm Jason, and this show is dedicated to World Wonder Ring Stardom. Today I'm covering 5 signs that Saori Anou, the Indomitable Cosmic Angels wrestler, will win this year's 5-star Grand Prix tournament. Despite being a standout name in this year's Blue Stars A block, Saori has failed to live up to her own expectations. On July 21st, after gathering enough confidence to challenge Starlight Kid for the white belt, Saori not only lost the match, but was forced to tap out. Ouch. And this setback was just one of many bumps in the road for Saori Anou in 2025. However, I believe that the story of Saori Anou just might be the story of one person's struggle through enduring failure after failure, and ultimately through using those experiences as a source of strength. What better way for Saori Anou to win the 5-star GP than when the odds are stacked against her? If you find these transmissions valuable, please give this a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. Quick disclaimer that although I really like this theory, expect me to be making a 5-star winning case for other viable wrestlers down the road. This list will be presented in no particular order, except for the fact that we'll begin with an honorable mention: the 2025 timing and Saori's career status. Saori Anou celebrated her 10-year wrestling anniversary this May, and in terms of 2025 Stardom Championships and tournament showings, has very little to show for it. At 34, Saori is around the same age that Tam Nakano was when she won the red belt for the first time. And with Tam having retired at All-Star Grand Queendom this year, we have to ask, how long can Stardom afford to wait before promoting Saori to the next level? This is also Saori Anou's 3rd consecutive year in the tournament's blue block, with blue being a signature Saori color, notably in her hair and much of her wrestling attire. The most fitting time for her to win a GP would be while she's fighting in the blue block. And since the 2023 and 2024 winners both came out of the Grand Prix red block, it is probably time to balance things out. It's a good year for a blue block GP winner. Saori is in the blue block this year, her 10th year in wrestling, and she is nearing the same age that Tam Nakano was during her first red belt reign. That seems to be quite a few stars aligning. Number 5, Saori Anou's 2025 low points. It's been a rough year, certainly when compared to Saori Anou's 2023 and 2024. It just feels off. On January 26th, Saori Anou lost in a surprising upset to 18-year-old Rina and missed out on a white belt title shot. Then, on February 2nd, Saori Anou was pinned by Azumi to lose the Artist of Stardom titles for herself, Tam Nakano, and Natsupoi. After a bit of tag wrestling, Saori Anou faced her friend Tam Nakano in a big main event match at Korakuen Hall, which Saori also lost. And this might be a bigger deal than some realize. According to Cage Match, Saori Anou was the first person to wrestle Tam Nakano, defeating Tam one-on-one in 2016. Historically, Saori had always been too much for Tam in their fights. But the stoic dominance we sometimes associate with Saori has been clearly missing this year. And this wasn't top form Tam Nakano either. This was freelancer Tam Nakano, who had already lost to Sayakami Tani in March and had her Stardom roster status revoked. And then, of course, Saori and her entire faction suffered the loss of Tam's retirement. After fighting her other close friend, Natsupoi, to a time limit draw at their anniversary show in May, the two challenged Wing Gori for the Goddess titles in June and lost. This left Saori in a noticeable slump. Not as serious as the one caused by 2024's Conversion show, but serious enough for her to refuse to challenge Starlight Kid for the white belt on more than one occasion. Which brings us to the present day, where Saori drummed up the courage to challenge Kid and lost in one of the most definitive ways possible. Saori Anou in 2025 has not been confident, and her results this year have given her no reason to be. The year in Stardom has been trending significantly downward and doesn't seem to match Saori's past accomplishments. It's the perfect story leading into the 5-star. The story of a fighting force trying to revitalize herself, trying to reignite her greatness. Number 4. The lack of Cosmic Angels champions. It's not just Saori who is having an off year. While Aya Sakura is the current Sendai Girls Junior champion, the Cosmic Angels faction has notably lost a step when it comes to the singles belt and tag belt ecosystems, with Stardom titles occupying the Stars, God's Eye, Hate, Neogenesis, and even EXV factions at the time of this recording. It's clear that Saori's entire team is not able to clinch the big matches like they used to. If this year's Cinderella tournament is a sign of Stardom's booking strategy, then maybe Cosmic Angels' 2025 success will be defined by their tournament wins, while the other factions will be defined by their title reigns. Number 3. The Natsu and Saori 10th anniversary show's success. According to a May 24th Tokyo Sports article, in the lead up to Saori Anou and Natsupoi's anniversary show, they received 14.8 million yen in the first month of crowdfunding. A quick currency conversion reports this as over $100,000. I think. And in a July 21st Tokyo Sports article, Saori made the claim that her 10th anniversary show brought in enough fans to rival the efforts being made by Saya Kamitani to popularize Stardom this year. As far as social media is concerned, Saori is followed by more people than any Stardom faction leader not named Starlight Kid. She is very popular. And the May 31st show is in part an indication of that, with Stardom in need of wrestlers who can stand across from Red Belt champion Saya Kamitani on gigantic cards. The impulse to turn Saori's popularity into the next big tournament final and ultimately the next big title match is probably quite strong. Number 2. The gaps in Stardom's Red Belt picture. Speaking of Stardom being in need of wrestlers who can stand across from Kamitani, the field of contenders is uniquely shallow right now. In a massive 5-star tournament comprised of 32 wrestlers, only 3 of those wrestlers are either current or former Red Belt champions. Between retirements, departures to other companies, and injuries, Stardom's roster is in significant need of newly promoted top tiers. But things are actually even weirder for Stardom. Usually the obvious answer right now would be to level up former white belt champions and make them red belt contenders. Saya Kamitani is a clear example of this. But Mina Shirakawa, Tam Nakano, and Mirai are all gone. And the next person in line from that white belt lineage is, you guessed it, Saori Anou. Number 1. The Cosmic Angels vs. Saya Kamitani storyline. This story goes about as deep as anything in recent Stardom memory. Cosmic Angels leader Tam Nakano introduced Saya Kamitani to the world of pro wrestling and became one of the most pivotal figures throughout Kamitani's career. She dropped the white belt to Saya, then the red. And in between, Saya Kamitani became arguably the most pivotal person in Sayaka Kurara's career. Sayaka joined Cosmic Angels, and Kamitani tormented them both. As a heel, Saya has taught Kurara harsh lessons in no less than 3 1v1 matches. She threatened to corrupt Kurara and turn her evil. She humiliated Tam at every opportunity, until she finally removed Tam from Stardom and then forced Tam to retire. Saya Kamitani's red belt reign has almost exclusively involved cutting down Cosmic Angels fighters. But there is one glaring omission in this story. the presence of Saori Anou as a red belt title challenger. And that's what I think the 5-star GP might be leading to. A way to make this title match as massive as possible, to continue building up Saori's personal journey, and to continue building up the struggles of her faction during the reign of the Phoenix Queen. Saori is often called indomitable, and this year, the story will illustrate how much she can endure while still promising to pick herself back up and overcome. This year, Saori Anou is in prime position to climb the ranks of this tournament and take the 2025 5-star GP down. What signs do you think either point towards Saori's tournament success or failure? Who do you think are some of the biggest threats in this year's 5-star? And which of the signs discussed today do you think are the most or least valid? And if you need more ammunition to help you prepare for the 5-star GP, you can check out my viewer's guide to the Stardom 5-star GP in the description below. If you found this transmission valuable, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. Thanks for listening to Red Belt Radio.